was fast.
Oh, yeah, I just search them.
Everything that we had.
Got it.
Yeah.
Speed running. Thank you, Ari.
You're welcome. Who needs their smoke alarm fixed? Get a new battery for your smoke alarm. That's bad for you.
Oh my god.
Fuck you. Don't care. Don't come close to me. Don't approach me in RP. Don't even be existing without you around me.
I actually already determined that that's gonna be my mission is to find you.
Got me up on it.
Okay, so you got told on all three of them.
Whoever has the smoke alarm, stay away from Rydog for your own safety. I swear, you will not be able to live.
Oh.
We gaslighted Rydog about the smoke detector for over 6 months, and now anytime that she hears it, she has an uncontrollable rage about it.
I'm proud of you guys.
Well done. Listen up.
Focus up here. Focus up here. All right. So we're going to be after this session. We're going to be on break next week, as was mentioned before. Also, after this session, when we return from break on the 30th, we'll be having our Rosewood OVA, which means that we will not be back to our regularly scheduled program until April 6th. But on April 6th, that will be the beginning of the Runewald arc. So, this episode, you'll be told in character, but this episode, the candidates will be making their way with a number of other associates from the city towards Runewald.
I'm just
for the
being
Runewald
quiet.
arc.
Sorry.
Those of you who aren't going as APCs,
Just having
or
a high
APCs,
anxiety day is all
we
it
have
is.
placed some messages in the channels for you guys to make characters for those days.
We are dual streaming
That
on
arc should
YouTube
be
today.
2 episodes, possibly 3. depends a
So
lot
I'm
on
going to be bouncing between
what
both
happens in
chats
character.
and doing
But
my best
those
to monitor.
episodes will be. I was about to get there. I was literally about to say it. Those episodes will be sequential, and they'll be days, not weeks. So you'll have similar to the Vanderhall arc. You'll have a couple days in Runewald, and then we'll go back to the week system when we
Let me
return
figure
to
out what.
Rhinehall.
How do I?
Any questions about that?
There we go.
I'm gonna have to have so much repair.
And
Okay. After the Runewald
Uh-oh.
arc, we will have another arc in Reinhold that'll be a little bit longer, and then after that, we will be going to do the Argus arc, which will be a little bit of a longer arc, which will take several days. Will probably be a 4 to 5 episode arc. So, just for our general scale of what we're looking at. So again, APCs and stuff who aren't going to Argus, if you want to make an Argus character, that's also something that is coming up, as well as we have some roles to fill for that as well.
yeah, so it's going to be a while before we see Ben
Outside
Grun
of
again.
that, those of you who were in the Engineering Bay the start of last session, learning stuff about the Magus engines, you have been approached during the week to meet with Voldris in the Engineering Bay again today. So if you were in that meeting last week, you will be starting in the Engineering Bay today. And I think that is it. Unless we have any questions from the crowd. Oh, book clubs at sunset. I didn't know that.
Just to clarify, you don't mean like the people that got the plans from the D1000 thing. It's like a different.
No, that was the week
it's something
prior.
separate.
Okay, just making sure that was like, wait. those
And
two
I have a
guys.
question.
Yes.
So for wording candidates that are doing the physical stuff, whether you DM'd or DM'd Happy,
Oh, I'm actually going to be telling them as Voldris in character to go and do that today, because we actually won't be having a lesson today. So they're going to probably be going to the hospital for that.
Okay, and if you're wondering what we asked, it is posted in the Discord of kind of what the plan is that Leani or Reginald would ask you. So if you're curious to know what you need to know, it's there.
Yep. Any other questions, Seer?
For the crossover thing, when is the list gonna get posted for that so people know who's going and whatnot?
Probably probably within the next few days. I was in a trial last week, so I got very busy.
Understood. No worries.
Damn, Lulu, what'd you
Neko?
do?
What didn't he do?
I'm
I'm a
stretching, sorry.
paralegal. I didn't do anything. I was working.
Okay.
Bullshit.
Oh. Yeah, I gotcha. All right, if there are no more questions, then you guys can go ahead and get to your places, and we should be starting here in about 9 minutes or so. If there are any personal questions you need to go over, I'll be over here.
Yeah, I found that out. Like,
I thought I was being.
Okay. What is your
So
curiosity?
if I use that on a person, is there anything bad
I
happening?
can
Because
take
I might use it to spar
questions.
Ares.
No,
actually, this also works.
This
This is more a note for you for
you
later
can control
on.
the level.
I may have some that might be useful.
I'm not
for
gonna use the
this
slash.
stuff
No, the
specifically.
slash is
So
not
if I can,
happening. I
in
haven't
the
even done that
future,
yet.
But
show
the
Totally
game
not a
itself
person.
is a
an
viable
admin or
board,
two,
so
a
it
map
can
thing,
cut
they might-
very easily.
It might be worthwhile because I don't mind
okay.
adjusting.
I do have a drink tonight.
With that later on.
Oh, okay.
It's not.
Yeah.
That's
Christ
fine.
withered.
It'll-
Thank you,
it'll not be
hun.
any significant thing.
Yeah,
If
okay.
it's
Almost
that
there,
far,
dear.
I should have time to make adjustments for you guys.
So,
Yeah.
for the example
Okay.
case, if they
Roger that.
clash with Magisteel, does the Magisteel suffer?
Hello.
No, they can Magisteel and it still resonate fine. They repel each other, but they don't cut each other.
Is it okay to make up constellations?
hello. We're still walking.
Yes.
I heard metal and
Okay.
I spawned.
Different probably knows a lot of them, but none of them mythology to go with them. So I shouldn't be stepping on
Yes,
any
we're starting
I
in
never,
World.
I
the
never
J-Bay.
specified.
Lord
I got it.
Noted. I just want to double check.
Just a quick clarification.
So
we're off next week.
The
week after that is the start of the crossover arc.
Correct.
And
It's just the one
then the
episode.
6th, we're,
Probably
the 6th we start mission. Okay, so I have until the 6th to get my...
Hickory would also know. Other ones PM. You guys know.
Constellation.
Or show you have any questions, Simon?
Hal know the constellation.
I can wait. I'll be complicated.
Okay.
Real quick. My idea for the silverware origin, by the way,
It's
was
the
that it
littlest
came from a
constellation,
collector.
but it's got the biggest
we don't
brightness
know
to
where they
it.
got
It's
it
our
from.
North Star.
Yeah, they didn't really look into the origin. They just looked at what it was made out of, and they found out there was more alchemy. So they're probably gonna salvage them.
Celestial opposition to the
Ariana
Great
had asked
Serpent.
about it, but if it comes up again, that was my idea for it. Roll with it as you want.
Gotcha.
A small constellation, but bright.
Okay,
Yes.
I'll keep it quick. I neglected to ask, I feel very silly. Would Osiris have been asked to go with them on their trip, or asked to stay behind?
I don't know if it's actually been brought up in character, but it'll be discussed
It has
probably.
to get brought up in character,
I
yeah.
mean, we didn't like put you under any form of arrest or limit, so
Like I've already done my due
Yeah.
diligence with flagging the.
Well, just in general, even
Yeah.
like on just warden's duties, if they're like, would you go?
Without details,
Or like would he be
We'll
asked?
probably talk about today.
small chunks I'm able to.
Okay.
I might be able to
Deliver that
modify.
today.
Will I also be going on the
Just two little chunks. That's all.
It'll be discussed
Nothing
today.
crazy.
Same answer, yeah.
Hello, what's
that's
up?
Kristen
Hello,
Research.
researchers.
Hello.
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 Start my OBS, sorry.
Okay.
I'm, like, really scatterbrained. I just had to run outside, so I forgot to roll up.
So council was given a fuck ton of paperwork.
Yes.
What was actually on those documents? Because that maybe I'm dumb, but like I don't actually know what I'm supposed to take from that.
Because like I said, it's probably gonna be like 1 to 2.
One of them is essentially the research documents for how Sevi was created.
Roger that.
Okay.
Some of those
so what
documents
Osiris
are
already
like
provided.
from
Let me
Tenebris.
know if there's other questions.
Yeah.
But I
Okay.
Some of those documents are just
Oh no! Oh, so how
Some of
Sevi was
those
created?
documents were the
Sorry, a different one.
communication-
Okay, so confirmation
yeah,
that she
no,
is a hybrid.
Sevi, not Adam.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So confirmation she's a hybrid
be
then.
more careful with because
Correct.
Okay.
Explanation of the research that Volgus did on both Sevi and Adam,
but yeah.
essentially finding out what information was prevalent to keeping them contained. The report progress of when Sevi evolved, because she evolved, and checking how docile she was and how she performed in combat.
Okay.
A report about the Vanderhall mission in general, including how
I'm gonna need a speed run on
rune
that because I
affected-
was not filled in on anything
Yeah, no.
aside from we just
I'm
got a
saying
gadget.
the specific part of the
Okay.
Sevi thing.
Yeah.
So on the Sevi thing, specifically that there was a rune that
This one's quick.
made Magic Beast kind of explode.
Oh.
goes over.
Okay.
And Sevi wasn't affected by it.
Oh, the barrier thing.
It would be fine for her to accompany.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my.
I saw Oracle's clip.
So-
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but Sevi wasn't affected by it, which is odd because she's a hybrid.
Because half of her
affect her.
would pop theoretically. Yeah. Okay. Neat.
So something must have changed there to make her either not a magic beast in the eyes of the barrier, which is why it's being researched further.
Yeah. Okay.
And then Volgus would have written a quick explanation of why he speaking with Lazarus before his death, decided that we would say that Sevi died so she didn't go back to Tenebris. So that we could hide her from them, because information about her could mean more of her could be created, and we wouldn't want that.
Because
That's
is
basically all the
Tenebris
stuff he gave that support about her.
Is Tenebris, like, as we are aware, are they still doing hybrid shit? Because I know that's
As far as we're aware, they are absolutely still doing it.
They're absolutely still doing it. Okay.
Yeah. And that's part of what caused the difficulty with Avalon.
Yes.
If you remember the Forge Breaker arc, that was a Tenebris.
That was before
experiment
my
they
time,
sent
I'm
to us.
afraid. I've heard of it.
Okay,
Yeah, so
it's
there was
basically a really
there was
fucked up
a
hybrid
serial
station.
killer.
Yeah, a serial killer that was killing Warforged. That's all I know about that. And apparently it was a hybrid. I'm holding up the line.
Yeah.
He was a silly guy. I was just holding you up.
No, you're fine.
It
They're,
was,
they're
double
just
check.
being silly.
There isn't anything more that's happened like regarding the dream that I mentioned, right? Okay.
I do, yes.
It may or may not come up to a professor
Because I'm
today.
just-
I don't know.
I'm actually trying to get my ducks in a row.
Here, let's whisper and we can
Yeah.
talk real quick.
Thank you.
Or just certain parts of it.
A
No
possible.
problem.
and I-
Here, let's move to the side so like we're not.
I don't want to.
Okay, what's up? How can I help?
I'm just trying to get all this in a row of being like, because we were given a fuck ton of documentation, apparently. I do remember previously Voldras's intention was to bury the council in paperwork in order to slow them. Is that the strategy, or is the strategy actually
Well, the
giving us
original
everything?
idea was it is actually giving you everything, but he's
Okay.
giving every single document that comes along with it, kind of thing.
So
it's
he
like
is
malicious
kind of-
compliance in a way.
Okay. Awesome. So we can be grumpy. It's like, yes, I noticed
Yeah,
that
you
on
can
the
be
third
grumpy.
document that went over into the same thing. Okay.
Mhm.
Are you guys being forward about? Okay. So Sevi, are we now in the loop that we're trying to cover up that she's dead?
Yes, you are
Alive?
in the loop. It was supposed to be in the paperwork, but Lulu is super busy because he's
Yeah.
been going through trial prep
Yep.
the past like 2 weeks.
Okay. So we're just passing that off
So
that it was failed to
we-
be conveyed.
We're passing it off. That's why I'm like having Verona. I typed to every single one of you
Yeah.
that she's dropping off all the documents through the
Yeah.
week. The
Okay.
proper ones. It is
Are
not like a
we
giant
aware that
thing.
you adopted her?
That is up to him to say because she's like,
Yeah.
this was our choice, but you need to bring it to the table here.
Because first off, like I'm sure the extended relatives would love to know that there's a new member of the family. Be so happy for you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, why did
Yeah,
you have
so
to pick
it's
this
so
one in
great.
particular?
Yeah. No, that's so fair.
Because that's also a whole nother can of worms, and being like,
That is a Google Doc with the case file.
because now it's very much a confirmation of bias. Because it's like, are you actually doing this because you feel like this is the strategic thing to do? Because now you just made them your kid. Like, that's
It partially also comes from the thing where because they're elves, their like lineage is super long and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And because he's saying she spent most of her life over at Sylph. Sylph doesn't give information to anyone.
No.
Yeah, you can probably descend to them.
So it's a place where we can safely say she was raised with her grandmother
Mm.
without like ends coming backwards.
Okay, so you know it's a safe cover up.
It's a safe cover up.
Okay.
It's a safe cover up for her. It's safe for us as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to separate like what I actually know here. Okay.
Yeah, no worries. Are you doing Doing okay. You
I'm
said you
having
weren't
a
feeling
bad
well when I saw the
anxiety day
chat.
is what it is.
Oh,
so
I'm
it's just, I'm kind
sorry.
of just like, I'm just pushing myself to do something with my day. Is what it is. And of course, it's gonna be more politics.
Well, thankfully it should be mostly smooth. Most of the stuff going
Hopefully.
over is just kind of a few perspectives and a few like proposals that are coming up. But for the most part, I don't want it going too long, so that's why we're doing it an hour earlier, so you guys have your entire day to do whatever the fuck you want with
I am
afterwards.
in a Discord comm, so just
Mm-hmm.
flag me whenever, and I'll start making my way.
Yeah, I'll
I'm
book
late.
everyone when it's time.
Sorry, I should get going.
Go ahead. No, you're fine.
I'm just gonna make
It
it,
is
up as I
no
go.
rush at
I'm
all.
just gonna
You are
make it up as I
perfectly
go and
fine.
pretend that I know what I'm doing. Let's go.
You can just say that you were taking care of some stuff at the engineer corps directly.
Well,
with all the
yeah,
people
because
who are
also
trying to
all the
apply
people
and help with things.
who applied and me being here and like,
I didn't expect
I have to
everyone
show
say
them
yes.
basic procedure.
You're all good. You have
All the
fun.
health
I'll
and
poke
safety
you when it's
violations.
time.
None of their gear is
All of
OSHA
them, all over
approved.
the place.
So many of them. And EP because he's a
Okay, I'm gonna get
It'd
going.
be so funny if you went
Right?
through with OSHA compliance for their weapons.
Right? It's like all of you need like tennis balls on the tips of these things. Why do you need to bring them onto the work site? Why? You don't need them with you.
Are they all related?
But what if there's an XYZ? Why the fuck would there be a...
I actually got asked to
Meh.
Alright, you go have fun. Bye.
Thank you, dear.
They didn't want to like make it sound. They wanted to like stop it from sounding like racist because white-haired Catholics. Because I saw someone with a dog, you know, like that.
I'm alone. Nobody here beside me. Ja. Dwarf. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you. I apologize. Hope I didn't interrupt your...
Not at all. Just going to get a breath of fresh air. Not interrupting anything, sir. What can I get for you?
Well, I see it's sort of in as well. Do you have any rooms available currently?
We do. Hi. Got a few upstairs ready to go. You're looking just for one bed, sir?
Yes, just one. Well, if I have the luck of meeting a lady here. Or fella. I don't see much need to have to share two beds.
Perfectly
How much
fine.
for one room?
It's going to be 10cc for an evening, sir. How long do you intend on staying for?
That's a good question. For now, just the evening. I'll let you know if that changes.
Very well. And if I could just get your name from you.
Of course. It's Victor Marjolaine.
Victor...
Margaliine. Yes.
Right. So that look about right for you.
I'm sure. Perfect. Yes,
Wonderful.
that'll do.
Very good then. So just for the night, we're going to be looking at 10cc for the room. I'll get you a key there.
Thank you. I'll get your payment. Alright, here's 10cc for you.
Thank you, sir. And the key. Perfect.
Wonderful.
Yours will be
Thank you
number
very
4. It'll be just upstairs to the door, second room on your right side. That will say anything
you
sort
very
of
much.
breakfast
I'll
that
go
we
get
can get
acquainted.
for you.
breakfast. Well, I'll let you know once I can get an idea of the space. I need to know where all my stuff will be able to fit. But I should be back, hopefully.
Thank you.
Browsing the wine, sir.
Yes. How much one of these?
It depends on the wine that you go with, to be fair. A whole bottle is going to go at least for 25, even on the cheaper ones for the red.
I'll take middle, might as well. Don't want to get too expensive now.
Alright, so just... I see. I think what that one's going to put you at about 27, sir. Is that alright?
No worries.
Wonderful. Celebrating tonight, or just hitting the bottle early?
A bit of celebration, a bit of hitting it later. Depends on how the day goes. Taking a vacation I've been needing to have, after all.
Good to take care of yourself as well.
Of course.
Or...
Is that all sorted out? Oh?
I saw, all even.
Alright, thank you. Have a good one.
And to you, sir. I can read you the menu if it helps as well.
No. I'm just taking a look at the items you have available. But everything looks of very fine quality indeed.
We do our best, sir.
Unfortunate I don't
much
have
of it's
the
imported from the other cities.
I do recognize a couple of my own brands. Well, not mine personally, but the ones I use. And it's back home.
I see.
Well, I should go and check to see if my stuff's already arrived. I'll be sure to bring it in when I have the chance.
Of course, sir.
Thank you for the offer of breakfast. I think I'll get some used to my legs first.
Ain't no worry, sir. You're welcome to our home.
Thank you very much. I'll be back soon.
Cheers. Right. Spiffy looking fellow. I swear, if he starts asking me to load his bags for him, then he's going to have to learn how to travel lighter. Is that a girl that's supposed to be helping us out? I still haven't run into her,
Good
In a rush?
9.
The rate he's going, you might have to go back and drag him over.
Yeah. If it lights enough fires to entice some more people to help out.
How has been recruitment? Did it improve at all?
Been good. Not as good as I'd like it to be, but I can't expect everybody to join the military.
Well, hello there.
Good morning, dear. And here I was worried that
Thank
you
you
were
for
going to
the
be heading home already.
One of my
I don't actually live that far away. Like, I just live, like, way on the other side of town, you know? Like, so...
We might be expecting
how
more
it is.
frequent visits then.
Oh, definitely. There's a lot of interesting characters around here that I'm quite interested in speaking to, actually.
Alright.
Just, like, there's so many faces. I didn't expect that, really. I expected things to be more, like, uptight and whatnot, which is why I never really bothered coming.
Right. I don't know. As far as I've been around here, people have always been very welcoming, just in general. Aside from a few bumps in the road here and there, but it's
We
fine.
had the crepes from the summer festival again.
Yes.
Where we were from originally before we moved here, that wasn't really the case. People weren't very, welcoming, especially not to people in my family, because there was just like a stigma from generations ago that they just didn't,
Yeah, yes, I see all sorts of people coming in out these doors. Really. Them could have their head on backwards and I'd still look at them the same way.
I'm just glad to see stuff like that, you know? Back where we lived, she didn't really talk to anybody aside from one person for a little bit.
She always seems to be around somebody. Even when she comes in for breakfast, she normally has at least one friend or two.
Are you, familiar with the warden captain in the dark hair? Near her, over there?
Can't say I am. I've served her once or twice.
That's her godmother.
Oh! Don't no shoes.
She's my childhood friend. She was basically the only person that spoke to me back where we were from.
Oh! Right. Well, she's always been polite. A little odd, but polite.
She definitely is odd. I'm not going to deny that. But, I guess that's why she ended up deciding to be a warden. Like, that doesn't... No offense, they're great people, but...
It's a
It's
bit
not
of a mixed
exactly
bag, aren't
something
they?
that everybody hops on to being,
right,
you know?
right, exactly. Is that correct there? Still trying to wrap my head around it.
I don't think I've ever seen... What was that just now?
I don't even know. It's Arthur brought it in. It's a pet of a friend of his, apparently. Still don't even know the name of it, though.
Oh. Hi, Mira. Oh, are you is she avoiding me? Is she...
No, I just have something to give to someone.
Oh, okay.
That one's always been quiet.
Really not. Well, yeah, I guess I can see that actually. When I was the night when I first came over, I gave her like a little hug as like thank you for being good friends with Lunali, right? And
Right.
she just froze up. She's like,
Didn't know what to do, eh?
Yeah. She just didn't know what to do at all.
I know the wardens are pretty, they're good people. Don't seem to be the most, social, though. Keep themselves pretty holed up in that school of theirs most of the day. The only one that I see normally is Arthur, but that's because, this is, it's family business where he lives, so I hope I see him.
I think I imagine they're probably just really busy because the first day that I was here. So when I came over, it was out of concern because bad intuition was going off. I felt like something bad was going to happen. So I came to just go check on Lunali, and I sent a little letter, just like, hey, headmaster, just letting you know I'm coming. So can you please tell her and let me see her and whatnot? And he said, actually, and then gave me permission to just attend and go in and whatnot and just see what was going on, and
Ah.
I can see why they would be busy. It's very high level stuff.
This
sometimes.
was
It's very,
not too long ago that they decided to finally open up to the public. Still don't know why they did, but
Mira.
I don't got much reason to visit.
Hello, Miss Nocte. Lunali's over there if you wanted to say hi.
Oh, she knows.
I know. I didn't want to
expecting to see you
interrupt
again
her
so
because
soon.
she was like, she was talking to people, and I was just really happy to see it.
I
And I
know
was
to
like, aw.
Krampus style.
Sorry?
Hey.
Trying not to cramp the style.
I didn't know you were going to come back to visit again so soon. For the most part now. You didn't have another dream, did you?
No, it wasn't something bad this time.
This is fancy rocks you got on your back.
I just.
This is fancy,
It's like a lot of.
carrying around like a candelabra or something.
It's an arm.
I know yeah. But honestly, I just wanted to come over and just look at some things,
Oh.
and there were some
That's
people
okay.
some characters.
And they
You
listen
know
to
what?
commands.
Why not? I'll just make
yes.
a day of it because business is really slow today, and I was like, why not?
I mean,
you
it's
know?
not like it's not like the train ride is super long. It's just annoying to go on foot.
I do have a question though. If we could,
I'm
step
not
away
even
from
going to
people for a
try
second.
to wrap my head around how that works.
Okay.
A complex set of runes that allows it to levitate.
It
and listen to
floats
commands.
because it floats. Aye.
Magic.
Sure.
We'll have a slow day today and be able to just have conversations like these.
Bye. Where'd you go? Bringt. Nun.
Where did who go?
Not that white cat or that white cat, the other white cat.
There are so many white cats.
There really is. There's a handful of them. She carried around frying rocks. She was just showing me them, and I was trying to wrap my head around it, and just honestly, it seems just like a headache waiting to happen. But yeah.
That sounds like a rock being thrown at you waiting to. I have to say. That is very strange.
Good morning.
Do you not know?
Morning.
Morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Oh, guess it's the end of my break.
Oh, we were just going to check and see if a guest was up.
I hadn't seen anyone up and about inside, at least this morning.
Oh,
That's fine.
understood.
Out here for the time being.
Okay. Thank you.
Then you may continue your break. Apologies for the disruption.
It's fine. It's more fresh air out here. Than just being inside the stuffy kitchen all morning.
We shall try again later.
Who are you looking for, if I can ask it is?
Mr. Tyson Zircon. He's a caravaneer.
Caravan.
Yes.
Old.
He is a gentleman with drow-like features. Purple like
About as
us.
tall as us.
There was a darker.
Sorry, purple.
Yes.
There was a drow stepped
was a
in
purple
having
guy.
wine this morning. He was dark as night, however. Didn't have quite your hue to him.
No,
Not
that
the
wouldn't
same
be
person,
the
then.
one.
Sorry.
Thank you, though.
Thank you.
It would
It's
be
all right.
lovely to meet him, though. We shall keep looking. Have a good morning.
And to you.
Take care.
Is it forged or am I just tweaking?
Pretty sure that in man, yeah.
Okay. I did not wish to assume.
But yeah. And I mean, I've never seen them eat, so.
Very strange. But biscotti can taste, and he is a forged. I think.
A little bit of a luxury item. It's not the biggest market around here for it, so there's often gaps.
You seen that one?
Is this a small one?
No.
I do. I have snacks.
Crazy.
They have crepes, but I think I'm gonna have to talk to them.
You feel in alright there, friend?
Apparently they had them at the
festival?
Oh, was it these?
Hmm?
Oh, do you mind if I take one?
You, of course.
I do not think that is a friend we should be seeing.
I don't think so either. Just a moment. I'm going to go take care of that. Hey Rock, just checking in, buddy. Am I having an error seeing your model, or is there something else going on?
I'm supposed to be in biz right now, so...
Okay, you are a shining, glowing, white, default-looking man.
Safety settings.
My safety settings are disabled, sir.
Just make sure like you hit the eye for me. Hold on, where
I'm in the inn right now.
Hold on.
I will say VRChat's been having issues.
Is it VRChat scuff? Okay.
It's been having that issue recently where it'll like have somebody's avatar not show up. You could try blocking unblocking and showing unshow. That could be
I could just rejoin world if it's a matter of an error.
That works. Yeah, whatever would work. I'm not sure to yet what a solution is, but that's usually what I do.
After I follow safety settings.
Yeah, like just like click me, and for safety settings, is it an eye? Like is the eye on, like enabled?
Well,
it's on avatar display. I meant. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, no, the thing is like my safety settings are disabled, so that's why I'm really confused.
It's probably a VRChat thing then, if that's the case.
Yeah. That's very, very odd. Okay, yeah, you're good. Sorry to bother you.
Yeah.
I'll figure that out on my own time.
All good, all good.
I've never seen that before. I don't have streamer mode on. Oh, what the fuck? Yeah, it's debug, accessibility, safety. Where's the setting now? It's definitely not in either of these. Ah! Oh, that'd be why. Okay, boom. Yeah, my safety settings were on for some reason. Okay, well that's fixed. Pretty slow day in the tavern. Right, that's all taken care of. I think Bengren's got a thing for legs. I keep... Huh. Nini, I apologize. Every time I spot that character, I'm just like, whoa, like I lock on. I did it again. I like lock on for a second. Hey, Ribbo. I hope Ribbo's having a good day. We love Ribbo in this house.
Have you redeemed your free breakfast yet?
No.
We'll get Brooklyn free breakfast for him.
Okay, I will. I was talking to you first.
Sometimes it is easier to say she or they.
Yes. I shall endeavor to do so.
It is immutable after all.
I hope everything that's...
Go on in there. Yes. So I was just losing my damn mind. Something in my pipe or something, I think.
No, it is fine. No worries.
Under orders of Mother, I need to get my breakfast now or suffer the consequences.
Looking to sit down or something real quick to run back to school?
I'm not sure because I don't know if they're going to ring the bell for anything today or not. So maybe just something to walk with.
Oh, all right. So something good to think.
By the way, I heard that there was a fish delivery.
Ah, it's about a week or so ago, eh? Smoked salmon.
Yeah. Is that gonna be around for like the dinner time stuff?
Hey, we can have it for dinner, eh?
Okay.
Well, any idea what you're feeling for this morning? Can get your... most of the food is meant to be sat down to eat it. Have boxes, so.
I have an idea. I like the pancakes here, but they're not a walk food.
Not really.
So put pancake on pancake sandwich.
Pancake sandwich?
Yes.
How does that work? Walk me through these.
Okay, so hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
Bread. You put down pancake. And then like you would normally you put a sauce on a sandwich, right? So you put like kind of like a little like you make a ring of like butter around the top, so like it has some and then just a drizzle of syrup in the middle, so the butter kind of catches the syrup and doesn't like drip all over the place. And then you put the top bread down and it sucks into the top. Yes.
And you wanted to pay for that?
Oh. And strawberries.
And strawberries, of course. Sure.
Yes.
Mother, I hope my mother doesn't learn about this. She'll have my head for making something like that. All right. Only been using
What do
the
you
voucher.
mean? It's perfect.
It's something.
I will give you credits for this, for the apparent crime against food that I have just committed.
I don't even think that this is apparent. There's no jury on this one. All right. Suit yourself there. I'll get it all done up for you. Shouldn't be too long. I assume a white bread. Really?
With a little.
Gonna leave that up to chance, are we?
A little bit of toastiness.
Toasted
so
as well.
A little crispy.
So
yes,
you want a bit of crunch to your pancakes in the strawberry.
It's a little bit of crunch, and then it's soft, and so it's like different textures.
A part of me is screaming right now, but you know what? The customer's always right in matters of taste. I'll be just a moment there.
I'm just crying back here.
gonna put it on the menu once I see how genius it is. But they're gonna sit there and think, yeah, it's weird, but then they're gonna think, surely it can't be that good. And then they try it, and then they find out, damn, this slaps.
Sure, it can't be that bad. I mean, so long as people don't find out about things like this. Hello there. Well, there we are. I hope it's okay for you.
It's good.
I'm glad.
It should totally be put on the menu.
I'm not that. It'll take some time to think on it.
Okay.
Forgive me, for I have committed travesty. Aye. Ah. Sure. Why not? Hey. Maybe I'll do some shopping this morning. With a little bit longer.
And they transfer us out to cities that need assistance. Hence why we are here.
We'll do that later.
Maybe you should get some more then.
Now, where's the Harbor District again?
We are getting more.
It's on that
No, I get that. We're also, due to us being here, we're also assisting in training reforms and things like that, and trying to put out more quality in the guards.
A bit quieter.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, it's kind of needed.
Could be a lot worse. At least all the sounds.
It was, I'm gonna be honest with you, when I first arrived here, I think it was after like a month or two, I was almost tempted to transfer out. Due to just the state of things. Lieutenant Blitz, I'm not sure if you've ever seen him around. He's the old forged in the military. He
I did not grab it.
came back around and pretty much convinced myself and a few other the out-of-towners to actually stay and started actually putting in work. So once he actually started getting like the kind of like the gears turning, everything started falling into place and things actually started improving. So we. I don't think I've seen a forged in the guard yet. I'm gonna be honest with you, he's normally around at nights, which sounds weirdly, when the shutdown sequence happens. He takes people out, some of the privates that, if they're underperforming, he takes them out on midnight PT and pushes them. Well, at least somebody's doing something. It's good to hear. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of us are very thankful for him. Just as we are.
Glad a lot of you are.
Well, we didn't want to stop you from your patrol. We should probably make sure. That's fine. I'm being honest with you, I like to get to know people. It's one of those things of, instead of it just being a random guard coming to help you, it's someone you actually know.
Patrolling, instead of keeping the people safe, you prefer to stop for a chat?
No, I like to chat while patrolling. Usually in a day I do 20 laps of the districts.
If I'm going to be pulled out of a fire, I'd prefer it to be from somebody who at least knows my name.
morning, Ben Gron.
Good morning, sir.
I'm
doesn't
Corporal
care about any
Kavanaugh,
of our
by the way.
names.
That's true.
Actually, no, hold on.
I'm gonna go put my stuff away now.
I met the two of you before, right? At the bar?
Yeah, I had the jungle juice and then I passed out.
Yeah,
I
right,
threw
right,
up
right. Yeah, I
everywhere.
served you
I
guys
threw up
your
in a
drink.
bush.
Yeah,
It
you
was
were-
it
you
was
were-
tough. My stomach was like
Brings
tore
along
up
hairs.
after that.
Is a bitch, but alright.
Or something.
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna projectile vomit all over you.
Yeah, not me. What the
It's
hell?
been a lot in the box. The energetic sort.
Yeah, bro.
Can I go check out the station and Harbor District? I want to keep moving.
If you could, please. Yeah, I'm gonna head over to admin here in a few minutes. Anywho, I would like to keep chatting, but I'm gonna head over to administrative while they're going to harbor. So, if I see you guys around, feel free to stop and say hi. If you have any
What's the
questions,
name
feel free
again?
to ask. I'm an open book. Corporal Kavanaugh. But you can just call me George.
Kavanaugh. George, alright. Alright, George.
Anyway, you guys have a grocery morning, alright?
Yeah, have a good morning, George.
Yeah.
You're
What
such
is-
a bitch.
I don't like those guys.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, what do you fine ladies do for work, if I can maybe be so nosy in my eavesdropping?
What we do for work?
Aye, dear.
Well, I work in an office.
Hmm.
I'm an artist.
Night.
I see her, I see.
Good morning, ma'am. He said you ladies. I'm not a lady.
Oh, alright. Okay.
But if you feel so inclined to know.
Well, if you want to be so
I
generous.
leech off of you guys. That's my work. It's a hard day's work leeching off of
That's
you.
why you eat from the trash. Ah, damn it.
I
alright.
don't eat from the trash.
She just hates everyone, doesn't she?
I'm gonna throw a hairball up on your pillow when you least expect it. I swear to God.
Hmm.
I will make sure they will never find your body. This is a joke. For legal reasons.
Sure, sure.
What?
You've broken my
It's a joke for legal
heart.
reasons.
You've broken my little kitty heart. I can't believe this.
Get over
Hannes, I thought you and me were besties, best friends, locked in forever.
That's
I'm
just.
sorry, they're always like that.
Oh, it's fine. There's white cats everywhere these days.
I think I have bad news for you.
He's more of a grey, but.
He leeches over my money. I leeches over his pain. There's a mutual
Whatever.
thing.
Not my place to judge.
I'm gonna cough on you.
Though I will.
Well,
I cannot do anything.
is
in
this
the
place
daylight when
open
everyone is
later?
watching.
In the afternoon?
In afternoon, it depends on staffing availability, but we are always open immediately for breakfast and in the evening for dinner. Of course, there's always accessibility for the rooms for anyone who's staying for the evening or for the week. They get their own key to enter.
Yeah, but like that hurt.
Okay. Well, you want to get out of here?
Fucking baby.
Yeah, whatever you want to do. I just beat him.
Alright.
I'm gonna get a
See you around, sir.
disease.
Enjoy your day. then.
I'm gonna get a disease. You bit me.
You were putting your finger near my face, and I had all the rights for self-defense. And yes, I bit you because I had all the rights for self-defense. Your finger was.
That one's just a right bitch.
Hey. Hey, you. Morning.
Hmm. Maybe you're the one they were talking about.
I think you're enjoying it.
A little cold if you ask me.
Maybe. Rude to assume.
Oh, I think I've discovered the cause.
Now that I think of it, how many people in this damn town have white hair?
What do you figure?
Bold choice to be open back.
It just seems like mathematically, like, just.
Yeah, well, you know.
Hmm.
Trying something new out. Really feeling out some things, you know?
Never knew that brown was such a rare color. I think the breakfast rush is over.
I'm so enthusiastic about this.
Y'all seen Horo and his camera?
Horo is over by the bakery, I think.
Fantastic. You hungry?
Along with most of the military, I believe.
Here, get my bag, do some shopping.
Looking good.
You do look fabulous in that.
What triggered this?
No, I put a box down.
What was the bet?
Oh.
Yeah,
Would
what
you
was the
like
bet?
to,
What was
or
the
do you
bet?
want me
What was
to?
the bet you lost?
Seeing that I'm your little clown in the first place. Alright, we may have made something of an agreement about a week ago. A little gentleman's challenge. And I may have been a little overconfident that I could beat Bailey in a drinking competition.
You're
because
half tiefling and you didn't beat the
I'm
human
half
in a drinking
tiefling and I'm
contest.
half halfling! It doesn't make sense!
What? I cannot believe you, Uriel.
That's just what 150-year-old wine or whiskey
Nice.
does, you know? Maybe I'm
Uriel,
better.
if it means anything, it doesn't look bad on
Note to
you.
self, try
You
and
look
outdrink
great.
Bailey.
I will say, you look
You
fantastic.
look pretty good at that.
At least you look
It suits you.
suits you.
The headband's a little much, but if it was the rest of it, like, hell yeah, dude.
I voted against the headband!
The headband is a part of the deal because that's baby
No,
outfit,
it's
but,
fine.
like,
I just
if
feel
you
like
weren't
bitching
wearing
about
the
it.
headband, I would not have.
kind of pull it off.
He does kind of.
He rocks it. He pulls it off very well. I like it.
You pull it
Yeah,
off.
it's good, yeah.
So, you know, I swung by because I just wanted to know if I could borrow your
I think I've heard that
hammer.
expression before.
I know you can.
And I told her that there's no way anyone here has a camera, and if you did, that is such a waste of film. There are so many other news stories that you probably want to cover throughout the
Give me a minute, I'll go buy one.
I have a camera, actually.
Sure.
Make him pose on top of the motorcycles over in the mech bay. You could get some really good pictures with that.
Oh
I agree.
Actually,
I agree.
Camera for the day and just take a couple
It
pictures.
is
I'll pay you for the
just in
film.
my apartment.
we don't happen to have an
I'll have it
artist
for you.
in the vicinity, do we? I have a sketch.
I can do fashion sketches, but
Oh,
sketch
absolutely.
people, not
If
really.
you'd be so kind as to immortalize this for us.
We need a fashion sketch.
It's just gonna.
Hey, Stitch, could I actually commission something after today is done?
What's
I'd
up?
like to get a sack that I could just wear over my head.
Would you mind? Can you give us like one like back of your hand on the hip, and the other hand like up here, so it's a flare above the head. Really get a good pose going.
It's like a very good fashion sketch going on.
You're being a very poor model, sir.
You could rock it like a king.
Oh, that's a good pose
That's a
right
good
there.
pose,
That's real
actually.
sassy.
Chin
All right.
up, yes.
Oh, that's the sass.
Working. Hold it right there.
All right.
Perfect.
Perfect.
I'll catch up with you all later. I do actually have to get
I
to
might start smoking again.
CMOS.
It's okay. I got enough.
We're almost done.
Down. I can get the rest. You're good. You're good. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're good.
Uriel, I
Just
wish
fill
you
the last
luck.
details. I made that outfit. I know that outfit.
Oh my
There
word,
you
hold
go.
the
Whatever the heck, that sounds
He has clothespins on the back.
It's really. I think the outfit's wearing him, not him wearing the outfit. So it'll be completely fair.
I think plan to mail it to his mom. Sure.
Okay, Stitch. Can I make a personal request that you make that outfit
Here's the drawing.
It's properly
It's
Thank
fitting
you.
to
It's a
Sorry.
pretty fucking good drawing. It's really fucking good for
That was
for
as much as I
how quick that
expect.
was.
Yeah, we need to go to school.
Can I make the request that you make a proper outfit for Uriel, so it's not like he has to have the he has to have the clothes on the backside?
I will do that. I still have the fabrics on it. I will hold that.
That's aggression. That's aggression. Benger's gonna start writing down every day that the general store is closed into his book of grudges.
Okay, sounds
I
good.
don't know what you're talking about. With my mustache,
I'm
I've got to
faster
go.
than you, don't even.
I don't know why you're stopping me. I've got the mustache. Do you not see the mustache? You need to go out of the way. I do not know who you're talking to.
I don't see. I must have the wrong person.
Yes, I have to get out of here. Yes, excuse me.
I can't. I can't.
I couldn't help it. I had to let that one go. They were trying so hard. They keep buying cat buns and trying to release them into the wild.
Tito's evil twin. O-Type.
Yeah.
Come on, we're going to school. Come on.
I'm waiting for
Going to school.
for his
Why?
camera. He's bringing me his camera.
We've got to go. Okay, we've got to go though. We're gonna be.
She likes a cat bun.
Perfect.
There's so many cat buns around the town already. Why do they need help?
It never misses here. It never misses.
Nope. Why are they all running? But
Apparently
anyway,
the school bell went off. School bell went off.
Yeah. It's the mic.
I'm gonna take that as an opportunity for Erdy to take stage. What menu did I hide you in? That one. Wonderful. Nothing. Make some quick adjustments. Make sure everything looks quite alright for you. Should. Yeah, that looks fine. Lovely. There we are, and
You guys wanted to see. I'm not a part of this. I'm gonna wait right here.
is there something the matter, sir? Of course. Of course. There we are.
My sister's being stupid.
And what seems to be the trouble?
They just want to go look up in the wardens, see what's happening. Like, oh, they're not gonna get in.
Well, it is open towards the public. However, one must have an official reason for visiting.
Yeah, they're not very official, so.
I see.
They're just nosy.
There were some wardens in these attacks a couple days ago. Killed a lot of people. And just a bit scared that
any of them could at some point just decide to, you know, turn his weapon against his own people.
I can assure you, our candidates would never do that, either with the staff. In fact, you were talking to
You
one
probably
right now.
would have said the same identical thing if we were to ask days before that happening, wouldn't you? Happened
Ladies,
once.
if I may,
How could you be
the
sure it's not gonna
professor
happen again?
does have his own classes he must see to. I'm sure his students miss him dearly. If you have any sort of
Surely you don't
concerns,
have time to
especially
talk to
regarding
us
the grounds, it's a
poor
pleasure to
citizens.
meet you, Councilman Erdy. If I can be happy to assist either of you.
Welcome, Councilman.
Mr. Reginald.
Hello.
Wonderful. And who would you two lovely ladies be?
This is my camera. Can you give it to me?
Mimi?
Miss Mimi, pleasure.
Tennis.
Okay.
I'm just an artist.
Thank you.
A pleasure to meet you. Now, what is the trouble,
What's
if I
this
may
weapon?
ask?
We were just concerned about our safety
just ran
since there were apparently traitor wardens in these
Yeah.
attacks a couple
I'd be happy to do so.
weeks ago.
At the assembly, I can let them.
Yes, to my understanding, each of them faced
thank
the
you. They requested it
pure
because,
consequences of their
we're
actions.
quite the comedic outfit.
Oh, all
If
right.
you could really catch all of them.
Good. I thought
they
maybe
wanted
it was
to take a picture.
some sort of dire.
Do you have reasons to believe
circumstance.
that we
Thank
haven't?
you.
Oh no, it's just quite funny, and I like funny things.
We have nothing but
wanted to
has
help.
Usually.
Well, thank you.
Kind of an
I
easy
believe
thing
with
to
the
do.
new edict that has been made, you may walk up. Well, not
What
around
assures us
inside,
that in the future something like this won't happen
but
again?
Walk around the grounds out here.
Well,
if you wish.
I can assure that we're all doing our best to make
but,
sure
you
that
know,
everyone is
I've got a
happy and
lot to
has
do this
their
morning,
needs
I've been very
met.
busy, but yeah, I don't really want to just walk in and just.
Our worries not
If
really
you wish to
everyone
ensure
being
that
happy.
someone is friendly to you in return,
I don't
it
think
is
a lot of
only
the,
proper to
just
provide
like
them
too
with
much is
proper
my job,
manners.
so you know, yeah.
Well, you see, we're not really worried about people being happy.
Please, some
We're
point
kind of worried
today we
about people
can-
being
let's
safe.
have- Get a cup of tea or something.
What did you really do during the big attack, the fire spreading throughout the whole
here.
entirety of this place?
What did I
Well,
do?
I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, were you on the field? Were you hidden in your little
I was
tower?
leading my engineers in making sure that the barrier was intact, making sure that the water systems, such as the filtration and the purifier you see behind me, was working properly to make sure that we could continue to douse the flames. And my engineers were
Lovely.
working
And was that your
tirelessly and
best?
endangering themselves to make sure that your home still now stands, much as they are continuing to do so to rebuild the city and the damage that has been done. So, I'm very curious, rather than arguing that my engineers are not doing their responsibility. Do you have a genuine concern of the practices that we are doing, ma'am?
That was quite the genuine concern. What an interesting way to word that.
Lovely.
If I may step in here for just a moment. I understand you have concerns with everything that went on. In fact, there should be a interview with myself and a few possible candidates coming out soon. I knew there would be lots of questions, so the paper will be interviewing some of us and asking some of your questions I'm sure that you have. If it requires it, I can assist, but we should let Councilman, I'm sure which is very busy, get to. I believe you have a meeting?
I do soon. Now, if I'm sure that
Yes.
your concerns will be met, but this is not the way to be doing so.
Understandably
Indeed.
so.
Believe
We were
you
just
me, we are
curious.
on your side.
Of course.
We are just as mad at the individuals that attacked
Sure
as you are, believe me.
Thank you for your
Well then,
Thank you.
we
assistance
shall leave
and-
you at your responsibilities.
You're welcome.
Do them well.
Wonderful. Fully intend to.
We always try our best.
Is he gonna do your physical?
Have a nice day.
done bitching? He's got a camera for me.
Let's go.
Oh, a
You too?
camera. Well.
It appears that some
More dessert?
members of the public are concerned to make sure that everyone is doing their work. Perhaps check in inside. My personal advice.
The doctor was in, but I don't know if they were
Oh.
thinking about you or something.
You got it, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Councilwoman Saray is looking for you inside.
Ah, thank you.
Perfect. I didn't have to check outside.
Sorry, I was caught up. A pair
My
of
sister is here, by the
young
way.
ladies were harassing a member of the faculty.
What?
Asking how we're making sure that your students don't decide to rebel against the city.
It seems a little strange, but
Yes.
similar to any sort of force of military or trained person. Ultimately, most of them are in
Yes.
there at this point.
Yes, it really was nothing, just over... Pardon, I'm over it. Right, where are we meeting again? Same room?
Right room, right over there.
Of course.
Feel free to get comfy. I'm just going to make sure we have
Morning.
Mars here.
Morning.
Morning. You okay?
Just... thinking. Sorry, I should get out of the doorway, at least.
You're fine. If you want, you can get comfy inside of the room. You should start up
Yes,
soon.
I
but
likely should,
there's
rather
the
than
few of us
scaring
there.
each of your students who walk down the hall.
Alright, I need to find Mars. I'll be right back.
Of course, I'll be here. Good morning.
Hello, Erdy. I brought your sister today.
Really?
Yes.
Bring the whole family, then. She's waiting for us to finish work, then?
Just the wife.
Well... Mars doesn't get the opportunity to steal my chair today. Were you able to sift through the mountain that they give us?
Unfortunately, yes.
What do you think of it?
I think that should have been on the front page before we interrogated Osiris.
Order of operations seems to be a bit mismanaged.
As it is.
Fortunately, I didn't see Mars anywhere outside. And I thought Blackburn was in here.
I saw her cross into the office across the hall. Not sure why.
Perhaps fixing something. How was your trip over?
Pardon?
How was your trip over?
Peaceful this morning. Had a few small errands to run, but just a few checklists.
Fair enough. Oh, did you hear me earlier? Your sister's here.
As I've been told, looking forward to catching up.
Let's see.
Well, where's she waiting, if I may ask? Is she just... I didn't see her out front.
She might be in the training room. I believe she was talking to Luther.
That would do it.
Perhaps you can catch up after,
I'm hoping to.
unless you're busy.
Well, I can just say that the meeting went a bit long. They'll survive without me. They'll be fine.
Fair enough.
The man himself.
Happy to see you made it.
Technically, yes.
I see. Did you happen to see Mars anywhere in the school?
I have not, though I can do a search for him quickly.
It might be a good idea. And perhaps Blackburn, if they're not busy.
I'm gonna pretend that's normal.
Before we get into anything, was there anything you both wanted
There
to
goes one.
particularly discuss? I know we didn't have much time for future proposals or anything that you might want to bring up, but
It's just
Yes, Mira.
going over. Honestly, my week's just been refreshing some of your candidates' understandings of workplace safety and all that. Many of them are
Who I know is in the other room looking for him.
clearly comfortable in their workspace.
You can come into the room.
I see.
I was just making sure that they're
Definitely, probably.
not being too lax about it. And I understand that much of the maintenance being assigned isn't the most exciting.
Yes, Mira.
I had something to give to Councilman Erty if he'd like to hear me out.
Oh, that is not my name I was expecting you to ask for. How can I be of service, dear?
A proposal I wanted to give to you. More of a request, I suppose.
Interesting.
From some of the researchers here. We'd like to inspect the city's dome. The
Whatever
barrier
for,
that
if I may
supports it.
ask.
Magical study. We'd like to examine it. Try to see if we can't glean some better understanding from it.
For the sake of a lesson in study, then. Do you have a similar project you're working on, or is this curiosity?
Yes, a little of both, I suppose, sir.
Well, I look forward to hearing about what you're working on as well. How many of you should I be expecting?
A total of 4, I believe.
I'll give it some more thorough reading, and I'll get back to you if that's all right. I should focus on my peers at the moment.
Of course. Thank you, sir.
Of course.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Let me choose. Alright.
Valdris, what is, that young lady's personal focus, if I may ask? She didn't line up with the engineers when
study.
Yes.
Most of her study has been through the translation of runes, actually. She was actually the one to help researcher Paz decode the runes from the first shrine into readable language.
Interesting.
And for further context into what their inquiry, my understanding is that they found a very unique set of runes that had something to do with a prototype of Barbaria. Perhaps they want to compare the two.
Very curious, then. I'll see what we can do to accommodate them. I'll need more time to settle on it, though.
Of course.
Perhaps after this meeting, if you'd be willing. a private conversation in regards to the Engineer Corps.
Gladly.
I suppose.
Oh, she's
we
gone
can
again.
Lightly go over. She said one moment. I suppose before we get into anything, so we can at least do something instead of sitting around. If either of you had any questions about the documentation that was brought over to you, that was.
A few.
Now would probably be a good time for those personal ones.
Yes.
As I mentioned earlier, this would have been better on the front page. In regards to
Yes,
keeping
for
this
as much documentation
girl.
as I had. You didn't specify.
We
the
spent
order you
2
wanted.
hours interrogating Osiris, and they kept up your charade the entire time. It was only until Erdi questioned them thoroughly after meeting with this candidate and recognizing the fault.
Your questions were about Adam, not Sevi.
The two are involved.
The two are thoroughly connected,
Correct.
even from the reports.
But the records you requested immediately were for Adam. Those were the ones I provided first and foremost. But I did provide all the records entirely.
So you have, based on the piles that I was just barely able to sift through in time.
Unfortunately, I don't have an administrator who can sort through all my paperwork. She stays rather busy sorting through yours.
Look, I think the point here. We don't want another surprise, is the problem. And we especially don't want someone that we trust with a great deal of our city's security to be seen as untrustworthy. You can understand that, can't you, Veldris?
I can understand that a lot of what I've had to do has had to stay secret for a long time, well before your birth. And it's going to take a bit of time for me to be completely upfront about everything. I'm attempting here.
There
want to
are
make
others
me
here
regret
your
the
age,
attempt?
cousin,
Then by all
that you
means.
also keep in the dark.
As I said, if you want me to regret providing information to you all, then by all means I'll stop doing it again.
Is this the tone that we're going to be working with for this entire meeting?
It's the tone you'll be getting, in general. I don't like working with all of you. I'm doing it out of necessity.
And here
Would
I
you
was
rather
worried
run
about
the
being the
entire-
difficult one.
And would you rather run the entire city yourself? That seems rather familiar, don't you think?
If I wanted to do that, I would have done that years ago.
And if we wanted to depose you, we would have done so.
Do
The
so,
point
then, Blackburn.
is... The point is... We both have need of each other. So let's dispense with the unpleasantries, yes? Yes, good.
Apologies, there's radio chatter in my head.
Ah, I see.
What did you say?
were you saying, Veron?
Ultimately, what I was saying is we don't have to all like each other, but we can at least act cordially towards one another.
Professionalism is something that can come quite simply the moment that we stop bearing fangs at each other.
I have been cordial all the way through this process. And at every point, I've been blamed for every downfall. So my fangs are bared out of protectiveness of the candidates. But I'm providing as much information as I can. If you take issue with how I provide that information, then let me know so I can fix it, Elros.
Then let's focus on that. So that we can work towards progress. Please.
Starting with the crux of the start of this whole issue, this Sevi. Do they currently have a disguise of some sort that can use? We wish to hide. Sorry. Apologies. I don't think any of us wish to see them given over to the Ash Legion. So I think we can all agree on that. Your cadet is safe. However, what do they need to hide better, more effectively? As we found out, they were found out rather quickly. In 1 day's time. We need to find a way to make sure they are hidden from those that would come find them, yes?
As I attempted to explain to Osiris before, the attempt was never to hide them from Reinhold. They're not a threat. In fact, I told them explicitly before their meeting with you to give you exactly the truth. I think over an abundance of caution to protect Sevi, did they not provide the correct answers. She has been provided with what we are calling a concealment stone. It is a recent research development using a superior form of magical quartz with a rune inscribed upon it that allows a continuous usage of small magic, in this case a disguise spell.
I believe they're still
That as
in
well
the
she is able
building.
to shift her form. Yes,
Should we
there
allow
are two
them to
still
see
here in
it
the building.
quickly?
I can grab one.
I don't see that necessary.
I
I'm more
would
concerned with the
be
fact
curious
that
in
they were
actually
found so
speaking with the girl if it was possible.
Is there something in particular you're looking to glean from her?
I've
mean,
yet,
yes, actually.
as
She
much
doesn't know
as a
about,
point of conversation as the young lady has been, I've not even passed even partial words with her. And especially if she's
I too would
a
like to see
point of
this.
interest, an individual who needs protection, then I think it is clear to show that she has
I
our
wasn't
support.
denying you, Ernie. I was simply asking what you were looking to gain from speaking to her in a setting like this. If you wanted to speak to her in person, that's completely fine. My worry is that as of recent, with the recent loss of Lazarus, she's gone through quite a bit, and I'm trying to avoid her having to deal with council questioning on top of still grieving her father's loss.
I do have a
Maybe
few
offer
official
an introduction
questions,
at
but
this
these are
point.
things that I will not harass her with, so long as you are willing to express or to answer best you can on her behalf. Is that agreeable?
I will answer as well as I know, and then if we do need to have her speak, I am amenable to requesting that she come up here at a council meeting in the future.
Lovely. Progress.
So be it.
Perhaps a introduction, or do you want to save that?
Well,
Say again, I couldn't quite hear you.
Perhaps you want to introduce them at the very least, so they can know who they're protecting.
And a demonstration of this stone's capability.
That's easily done.
Wonderful.
And I did leave a letter for you explaining all of this. It's not my fault you don't read my correspondence anymore, Malrus.
Before we bring her
I may
in,
have skipped it.
I do have a few questions for you, Fortress.
Of course.
In Osiris's report, they stated that Osiris themselves, the researcher responsible for Adam's creation, was given limited access to the specimen. Versus the donor, Miss Sevi, was given free access as well as the right to bring in third parties as guests. What was the reason for this?
To be specific, Osiris was given access upon request, as was Sevi. Sevi just requested more than Osiris. In regards to wanting to review how they interacted, we were in fact curious how Sevi in her hybrid state would interact with Adam, and vice versa. We believe that Adam was a herd type, as Sevi was based on a herd type from her reports. And we wanted to see the social structure of a pod that was created in such a way. It seemed to interact positively to meeting new individuals, and seemed to gain more communication in the process.
How did it communicate?
Mostly movements and chirps. We never heard language from it. But being as we've not been able to see how it is now in its evolved state, it's very possible that it may have learned a way to communicate.
Do you feel it understood those around it?
Yes. At least well enough to understand commands and understand tone. If you spoke in a calm manner to it, it seemed calm. If you spoke in an agitated manner, it seemed defensive.
Able to read the room. Alright.
None of these, as you can imagine, are anything like a Magibeast has ever performed in the field. Which is why it became such an interesting research subject.
I understand some of the higher Magibeasts have shown to be vengeful in nature. Personalities.
They've shown a level of intelligence, but that intelligence has always been used for destruction, or playing with prey, or pack mentality. Not full understanding. At least not that I've seen. This creature almost seems kind in comparison, if you can even say that.
As well. As for the proposed vacation for you, it appears that this is at an inopportune time. Especially with everything else that has been conveyed, I feel it's agreeable that we recede the movement.
Yes. Very well.
Anyone opposed?
Especially as it is my understanding there is a train being prepared for deployment later this evening.
The council has been expecting us in Runewald for several days. We had delayed our travel due to the Doom Rise, and allowing the candidates to settle back in the city after the effects of all of that. So yes.
Making you unavailable would be very detrimental, likely.
It does seem that way.
Additionally, it is my expectation, separate of all these matters, I believe that Nauros and Verona were intending to take a diplomatic trip to Thanatel by way of Runewald. And it may be easier that they come along with a candidate class for extra protection. at least through Runewalk.
So,
unfortunately,
Right.
I also rescind the choice.
was an agreement then.
It seems so.
Good.
Were there any other questions any of you had towards the report that was given, now that you have someone who can answer them fully?
I do.
When it comes to Adam or Sevi.
Just a simple one.
I check
You
my notes here.
had more constant access to the creature, yes?
I had very
It's
little
Adam.
access to the creature. I only
Did you
went
observe its...
a few times myself. I stay rather busy with my other duties, and I left it to the researchers. But I
So
did observe
which
it a few times, yes.
Okay, my question is, was the creature just sort of left in a box somewhere while no one was watching it? Someone had to have been watching it 24/7, yes?
We have 100 or 200 researchers in this academy in the lower floors. There was
All right.
constant surveillance on it 24/7.
Alright. My question then is, in the information you've gathered then, maybe not your personal information, but what you gathered or what your research has gathered, did you notice a change in the intelligence level of this creature?
Gradually, like it was learning, yes. When it first came into existence, it was docile but didn't provide anything that showed a level of intelligence further than it didn't attack unless provoked.
And what do you
As
project
it
its...
developed, it continued to grow its intelligence and communication skills.
And what do you project its intelligence would have been, should it have been allowed to grow? Or to continue growing in your care?
At least that of a sentient being.
A troubling belief.
Very well, I have no more questions.
Mars, did you have anything?
I believe you told Osiris that this was a lightning in a bottle. You still believe we cannot replicate this?
I had a number of quick trials with wardens on standby after the fact to make sure that we wouldn't have an encounter on the battlefield where candidate Cade and candidate Sevi somehow came into a conflict and we were suddenly attacked by pods. None of those trials were successful. So yes, I believe this was a
All right.
1 in a million incident. Could it happen if we tried over and over again? Possibly. But it's not easy.
Then do you merit we capture this anomaly to fully study it, dissect it, and see what made it tick?
Well, dissecting Magibeast doesn't go very well, considering they
Whatever
form
we need to do.
pieces.
Well, if it does, then we learn something.
But I would prefer to study its behavior. If it can communicate with us, there's a chance it could communicate with Magibeast. It could serve as a bridge. That would be my
I
hope.
guess
at
as
least.
well as any deranged creature could. Got it. That is all from me.
All right. I do have a few more. Not to take everyone's time. When the pod was presented to Miss Sevi, Osiris claimed that it attempted to show a vocal attachment, show of affection. It was Osiris's opinion that it was trying to convey its well, love towards the candidate.
I think that is speculation, in my opinion.
It is.
Granted, pods are known to make chirps and sounds of the sort. When it developed further, it's very likely that it could have displayed behavior like that, but in its infancy, it would be hard to say with true scientific proof that that was what it was intending to do.
Of course.
That's at least my view of it.
Using that as our base point, the candidate then proceeded to visit fairly frequently, in tow with Guess as well. Specimen has since escaped. In the event of either an attempted capture, or dare I say, if it must be eliminated, do you believe that the candidate Sevi would be emotionally impacted? Or if they would be able to go into conflict with the specimen, should it become necessary? What I am seeing is a pattern of attachment.
Regardless, yes. However, I don't think it will affect her ability to perform. She was already made aware multiple times and agreed on multiple times that should it come that he caused any harm to anyone, he would be eliminated immediately.
Right.
That is the expectation that she set off with, and I still believe that she intends to make that true.
Very well. Are we still open for this demonstration and sorting out the story that we're telling our neighbors then?
I can go pick them up real quick.
I can provide them with the other information that I was given during the week.
Lovely.
While you find them.
And I think that this, we're calming down, we're getting to the swing of it now, we're actually being progressive. Nice, this is a much better tone.
So, during the week I was approached by Hayden, who had been informed by Ader and Ares of a different situation. This one involving the Raiden League.
Right.
Apparently, the individual in question who attacked my researcher Osiris was Wasteland Warden, Asley Graves.
Raids. Right.
The way this was found out was also perplexing, and I'm still looking into to get confirmation. But allegedly, my other candidate, Arlo Sarkis, is the progeny of one of Raiden's High Lords. The High Lord known as the God's Blade.
Oh.
Yes.
I assume you vetted this cadet?
Arlo came to Reinhold to become a warden to run away from Raiden.
So they
He
might
was
say
labeled as a
that...
refugee after intensive investigation.
Let's
Very good.
refocus afterwards.
You are
Good afternoon.
welcome back this year, don't
A word,
you?
that's quite the coat. Please, please.
Oh, let's hope that you understand them as much as you say you do.
Let's focus on who is before us right now, rather than making them curious about things we discuss out of context. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone. I understand I've been quite the talk of the week, and I apologize for such.
It's not your fault for the misunderstanding.
If anything, I think it just goes to show how interesting you are.
Glad you think so.
Well, as an
Did you change your hair by
introduction, this is Miss
chance, or have I
Sevi.
gone mad?
I've cut my hair, yes. It used to be long.
Looks fetching on you.
Thank you.
Well then, Miss Sevi, is it alright that I address you just so plainly?
Of course.
We've been told by Valdris here that you've been given a disguise stone. I have a few
Yes.
questions for you regarding how we wish to see it used. A demonstration, if you'd be so willing. And then,
Of course.
especially to avoid any confusion, similarly to what occurred last week, maybe how about we get ourselves all on the same page?
When you're ready, dear.
I go by this disguise as much as I can.
Interesting.
This would be Lillian Alphen. Legally, she is from Sylph and registered under my family name.
I do have a spot of curiosity. Wait, what?
I told you you should read your letters, Nyros.
Don't mind them.
No,
Go on,
no,
Reggie.
I'm right. I'll get to my thing in a moment. Is this official, or is this merely part of the act?
Lazarus signed the death of Sevi as a legal matter before his death, and the paperwork was filed with the city before he passed away. Lillian was recorded into the family tree by my own mother, the previous Councilwoman Alphen. And she has confirmed that she is my daughter.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Welcome to the family,
If you're
then.
going to have a disguise would need to be appropriate.
Thank you.
Well,
Don't worry,
certainly,
I'm not related to you. Him either.
my condolences. You're stuck with me
Hello,
through
losing all
marriage.
might be.
You don't have to worry about inheriting any of my poor genetics. Much the better for you. But to keep track of things, I'm glad that we did go over that. I'll make sure that I make sure that there's gifts over the holiday, if I may. Do you mind? I want to see how convincing this
All right
is.
then.
It is just illusion. You can still feel it there.
So I have to be careful not to bump on your head on anything still. And I assume headwear would be quite difficult as well.
For context, Miss.
That would mean as well her footprints would be different in some terrain.
Yes.
Convincing as the heels are.
For context, Miss Lillian. There is no one here that wishes to see you leave us. So you can be assured in that.
If anything, we're only upset that we weren't brought up to speed a little sooner, but bureaucracy does get in the way of things.
It certainly does.
Other way, dear. Any more questions you have for the young lady?
from her own words, what are we telling our neighbors?
Sevi has passed away. I mean, that is merely on paper and supposed to be for Tenebris, as far as I know. As for Lillian Alphen, she's someone that has been with my grandmother for quite some time, practically my whole life. 30 years of living. And I've decided to finally, instead of becoming a knight of self, to take up my father's request to be here with him and the family.
Is there any particular reason for the timing of the decision?
A simple request that her old father wished to see her again.
Simple enough. Answering a family summons. As much as you've been very vocal of missing her dearly.
Indeed.
Bit of gossip that I'll be happy to spread. He's been clicking his
As I
heels ever since your
imagine-
arrival.
As I imagine our other councilmen will do so as well.
I'm sure your uncle is overjoyed at the reunion.
Overjoyed, aren't you, cousin?
Quite so.
I think we can tell who gets the better presents.
This has put me in a wonderful mood. Alright then, anything else before we can adjourn this? I'm sure you have plenty of catching
Backup
up to do with
plan.
family later.
So it seems. If this falls through, what are we doing?
If this falls through, we are going to likely be stonewalling the Ash Union. Granted, if you've been looking at politics, they might have a little bit more to deal with than us right now. I received a missive earlier today that the ICC is going to be having a formal request and proposal for war.
Oh.
I think the Ash Union may have their hands full rather soon.
Let's focus on us then. Good. Right.
So long as it doesn't diminish relations any further.
I believe if there aren't any further questions, we can let Miss Lillian get back to things.
But to
Just to make sure that I have the name down square. One more time for me.
Lillian Alphen.
Lillian Alphen. Perfect.
Lily, if you want to call it.
Oh, if you want us to be that familiar, be more than happy.
Well, I would love to get to know you more, now that I'm more open.
Very good then. No further questions.
You're dismissed, candidate.
And if you do need anything at all, we'd prefer to give you much more ahead of time than to try to be catching up afterwards. Thank you.
Have a good meeting, everyone.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Nice
Anyway.
both of you.
Yes, yes. Alright, anything else before I can...
Yes, in regards to this, candidate Arler. When we were in Lindell for our initial orientation, they were singled out as an individual who might be a spy. His records came back to be incorrect. He claimed to be a son of Edmund. That was found to be not true. Turns out he was in fact a refugee from Raiden, and the intelligence division, your lovely dogs who enjoy finding everything they can out about my candidates, did a number on sending him through questioning after questioning after questioning, and determined that he wasn't a threat to the city.
Good. Wonderful.
Last, was there anything else you wanted to discuss on that point?
Does this candidate in particular have any overarching responsibilities?
Right now, he's just a candidate, but from my speaking to Hayden, it is believed that the reason he actually fled the Raiden League is because he was named the successor to the God's Blade.
Oh.
Oh dear.
Which is why he was hiding out here, and allegedly why Aslay approached them some months ago to inform them who they were and to strike a deal that if Arlo keep his mouth shut, Aslay would not tell them where they are.
All right then.
And this is the same individual that tortured Osiris, correct?
This Aslay individual, yes.
Are they still in the city?
If they were able to sneak in, it's just as likely that they have ways out. Regrettably.
They already left the city, I believe, during the week. They took a caravan out. Ada was informed of their leaving. They are a caravan warden, after all. It's pretty normal that they take caravans back and forth. As
And
far
we
as we know,
expect
they don't
this-
know they've been found out.
Do we simply
expect
wait
this
for their
Raiden
return
Lord
then and arrest
not
them?
to just simply go to Arlo's father?
Well, if he was going to do that, we don't have much of a choice anyway, or chance to deal with that anyway. The only thing we can do is wait until they come back, and then see about asking them some questions in that direction.
It was only brought to my attention after they'd already left on their caravan, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would have tried to do something about it myself.
Of course.
And are we to assume they arrived on caravan?
To say again, Mars, I couldn't quite understand.
Did they arrive in caravan as well?
Yes, some weeks ago, on one of the trade caravans, I believe, from White Willow.
Well, good and bad came of that one. Then I believe
This is
we need
wise.
to be more scrutinous with our caravan searches.
You won't hear complaints from me, but you will hear complaints from others.
We'll have many
That's
frustrated
fine.
motions.
Safety comes first.
Surprised you of all people are saying that, considering.
Perhaps this might be a good assignment for our newest, well, once they are up, one of our new military wardens to deal with, this Graves. After all, the military do watch over the caravans. Perhaps it'd be a good sign of good faith for your Arlo to work with them and assist them in this search. The quicker this
I know
person's
they've
found out, the
requested
quicker
his
their
nose
secret.
before, so I'm sure he'd be willing to assist.
And the quicker this person is found out, the quicker his secret is safe.
I do know information about Candidate Arlo was made privy in some of the reports from the military. I don't know if you've had a chance, Councilwoman, to view them, but it is also believed the Raiden had some hand in the Doomrise. Candidate Arlo was
This
able
meeting's
to
going
smell
much
the
better.
scent on some of their cloaks that
Much, much better.
apparently connects to a different High Lord, the Shadowed King.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I feel like that's a piece of lore
Not
that I
the,
should
yeah,
know, but I'm
specific
just going to
one,
pass
but
over it and hope they
their
don't ask
involvement
me.
in this.
Definitely seemed too
Having
quick
such a
for such a
close-
faction come up that quickly.
And talented individual in our ranks could be quite useful, but also quite dangerous, Valdris. both Sevi and Arlo are important subjects to these organizations, our enemies.
We're not
Well,
collecting one
considering
from
we
each of our rivals just to make them upset, are we?
As Mars said, my candidate class this year was picked very specifically for a number of reasons.
I imagine it has nothing to do with this experiment you've been working on.
If you mean the experiment with Adam, that was a irregularity
No.
I did not expect.
No, not that one. The one that you announced to the public about bringing life back to Eden.
Yes. It had everything to do with that experiment.
Have we had any progress?
Warden Ares is being sent tonight to what we believe is one of the shrines. However, it is deep within the Emperor's territory. It is one of the most dangerous places in Eden, and it's not a place we can attack right now. However, we can survey it, and if someone else is to try and make an assault on the Emperor's den, then we will be made aware of it by Ares and his team. As for the other ones, we believe we found a map in one of our relics, pointing to the pre-calamity locations of the other shrines. We can use that to find out how close or far they may be now, and if they were lifted onto a city or not. At present,
That
we believe
is
that there
actually
actually may
very
have been
good
a
news.
shrine located on Braden, the city that fell about a year ago.
You said that there were 5 of these devices that we anticipated, yes?
Correct.
And that would be 4, then, found. We're still looking for the 5th.
The 4th, rather, as we're calling it, was a part of a city that no longer exists. A drow city by the name of Antikythera.
Ah.
And if we investigate the remaining sites, even of the empty ones, we might be able to get evidence of who picked it up. Leftover equipment, discarded rations, anything.
It is believed Antikythera may have been the location of a moving city, lifting up as well. However, it is not recorded in any of the moving cities that provide current walk over Eden, which is a bit odd.
I was implying who else may have picked up the other devices.
At present, the other shrines, to our knowledge, have not been activated or opened.
And so the race begins.
Regardless, until we have more information, this will be all a moot point.
Seems
I have intent. Apologies. I have intent to take a trip to Argus. There are some studies there that interest the researchers in developing on this very issue. I'll expect the candidates to come with, however, given the recent goings-ons and some of the candidates I have involved, thought might be a good time to make a political stance with them.
Ah, that's a lovely visit.
Or cause all of our enemies to swoop down onto us at once
They're going to swoop on us
and
regardless.
destroy us.
Well, not without a fight.
My point is that we should be in lockstep with our allies. And Argus will need to be made aware of all of this one way or the other.
Here's hoping that our rivals are
they-
still occupied with their war by the time that we go to have this political visit.
It's
Argus
better
is
that
already
way.
aware. I told them
It's
of
better-
this plan. when I met
Yes,
with
but
them.
it is better for our allies to hear it from direct sources. I think they'll feel disrespected otherwise if we take too
A
long to
proper
do so, what I mean.
To be specific, there is an ongoing issue in Argus that the rest of the council may not be aware of, though Naura certainly is. The warring factions in Argus have been going back and forth for years, and right now the city remains divided between two. The diarchy has been in disarray for some time. Perhaps if we were to find one we could support, we would be able to get our ally in line with us.
Do you have one you suggest?
This would all...
I have one I don't suggest, but it goes back and forth every time. The Witch of Argus is a firm supporter of one side, as well as Bram the Grimhound, whose name hasn't been heard in some years, but he does still walk the halls of Argus. On the other side, we have Starfall and a few others who are standing behind the Argos. However, one of the reports of the relics seems to suggest that the Argos may be the lineage of the Prophet of the Calamity, Jurgen the Grey. And so we need to get records from them if they have them.
I see.
This could quickly turn into a military operation rather than a warden expedition.
Yes,
That's why
love
I
to
would
see that
prefer
your
to have
cadets.
someone more politically minded take charge, as much as I hate to admit it, cousin.
Congratulations. You're going on a trip.
On our favorite rocket
Unless
ship
you'd
going
rather
through
come
the sky. And,
That will have to wait for a little bit because I'm stealing him for a trip coming up here soon.
Yes, of course, of course.
Yes, our military warden program has nearly exhausted our core supply, which is probably a good segue into something that I imagine you wanted to speak on.
Part of the trip will be actually trying to see if we can get a large amount of food in a trade from Thanatel by trading some of our farming research to them. Then take that food and trade it over to Bloxdale for magical ore to find more cores. Because currently we have in total 20 left.
20 for the whole city, that is. Not even enough for another candidate class after this one.
About 80 of it went into the military warden startup, essentially. So our pool is very, very, very limited at the moment.
Which doubly
Still looking
means
to
we
make
need to be
these
thorough in
bonds and
each of the
trades.
individual training. Quality.
Also,
Nothing
bringing them
wasted.
to do more. Go ahead.
How pressed are we for expeditions?
If you mean hunting for cores, we have looked at a couple targets that may be suitable. However, at present, we're making sure the candidates are fully prepared before we go on such an expedition.
Finishing their training, we are looking to possibly increase the amount of expeditions to take out. I believe you said it was C classes and above?
Correct.
Around that range?
Which usually take at least a preparation of a subjugation squad, if not a team, to prepare for.
It's better that we
Having
be
said that,
over-prepared
in the
then.
fight in Vanderhall, the candidates were able to eliminate a high C-class creature that did produce an ice core that is not included in the count of 20.
Part
Alright.
of that proposal, and given how things are going, there was a small proposal on my part of possibly putting aside 5 of those cores to give to every council member for a little more added defense. Given military now having access to cores, proto-arms are going to become more and more prevalent. given my kidnapping that happened about, it was a month or so now, wasn't it?
It's been
It
about
took
3
less
months,
than-
actually.
It took less than 5 seconds for me to be taken, and then 60 people died due to it.
Although I don't disagree. I will say it is hard to teach old dogs new tricks.
The idea is one of the wardens that you typically work with would essentially code a support floor for you. It would simply be used for a simple barrier and a perception rune. You'd better understand what's happening around you, and you'd be able to protect yourself just in time for either military or warden to help you.
We wouldn't
It would
break
not
like twigs
require-
when against an assassin.
I almost feel like I'd be
Better
better
looks
off
good.
throwing metal pipes and wrenches at them.
It would not require the training of having an arms and the preparation that comes with that. You would simply need to keep it on your person.
I'll
Very well.
humor the idea. If it helps ease worry, at least.
Devil's advocate, Verona. Having such cause may incite such conflict.
No one needs to know outside of here.
Each of us
And
just have a new
our
piece of jewelry.
wardens.
It is a secret measure at this point.
Just a safety
Better
measure.
than not.
And we especially don't want people to know. We don't want them trying to rob us, after all.
Granted, if you were
would
ever
only
mugged
be
an alley,
harder
having
now.
a core would be quite useful.
Mhm.
Very well. Right.
And I'll leave it to you.
Sounds good.
Just a brief
But of course,
confirmation,
as he said-
and then I think that we're... I see you bouncing your seat. Think you're wanting to move?
Gods, please, I hate these chairs.
On our last meeting, we moved that the researcher Cyrus be placed under protective custody. Is this going to be an issue?
I'm worried about Raiden following up. I'd rather they stay safe.
At current, the candidate that has been placed into responsibility is a close friend of theirs. Personally requested from Osiris themselves. We will be assessing the situation and seeing if a less personal selection should be made. Otherwise, I think that
believe
covers
is
everything on my
mostly
end.
Everything on the table, unless anyone has any more pressing issues.
Simply have a quick discussion I'd like to have with Councilman Erdy, but that will be in private.
Oh, lovely.
Blackbird, it seems like you must be busy,
Wonderful.
so you're free to.
I do appreciate that.
Fly.
I have a
Remember me as
train
I
to
was.
catch.
I'll hold him off for
You want me
you.
to leave? I just have one question.
Well, I'm a human. I have such short memory.
Given my short time
Please.
on council, I would like to have
Short
three
memory, you say. You'd never let any word I say pass.
wardens that you spoke of from the other places. What was it? The God Blade and some others?
There
I'm
are
not too
8 High
versed in
Lords
them.
of Raiden. I can provide you a full list.
I would appreciate it.
Well,
Then I suppose we're adjourned, so.
it seems... Am I to expect that you're going to come to my aid to make sure he doesn't rip me limb from limb? Or am I on my own?
You can, and if it gets bad, I'll head out. Well, I'll get a reason for you to head out. Sorry, that was poor of me to say.
I didn't forget an arrangement, did I? It's not like him to call me out like this.
It might be something new.
Until next time.
Oh, so it would seem.
Goodbye, cousin.
Is there any sort of dress that you think that I should provide my newest relative? It looks very good in red.
Do you think I'm good with clothing? Probably more Gregory's thing.
And here I thought you'd at least
He
have a
does have an eye,
preference.
but
After all, fur along the collar looks quite fetching. Thought you'd have some sense,
I do.
it does look nice.
doesn't it?
To an
Remember
extent.
him without it? My word, thought I was going to cut myself.
It's definitely an upgrade. Did you have any
Right.
questions?
He said we were supposed to be going somewhere. I've yet to see any of the documentation.
Oh, no. I said Nalros and I were heading out. We're doing a large trade in park
Got
over
it.
at Benetel and then Bloxdale. I was saying you can have an after
Trade
I'm done.
agreements. Hmm.
Yes, we're essentially very
agreements.
low on cores.
Did you fall asleep while we were going over that section, Mouse?
Nalros is very
You
good
know
at
I
his
don't
politics,
sleep, but
I have a better
trade
hand at
cut
talking to
something
people.
Agreed.
Mhm.
Well, if any food trade needs to be done.
I'll make this quick. I know you stay busy.
I'm fine.
I would appreciate your help. If something comes up, I'll definitely send some things over to you.
Always a pleasure.
No, I
Should we
suppose
sit?
It's probably getting to that time. You guys should be
If you'd
opening
like.
up soon.
I'd
right?
prefer it.
There should be tea there.
Well, that's on
Lovely.
video, but yes, I'll go and peek my head in as usual.
Anna, by the way, I never properly got to say thank you, but thank you for the box of food.
I think that went much better than how you were walking and swinging.
I appreciate it.
As do I.
I've always been a bit scrappy, haven't I?
Some things never change.
Working with you.
She would tell me to relax. I probably should listen to you.
Why not just, on the bit?
And she would be telling me to give you more of a chance.
Of course.
Well, perhaps we don't have to sit in the monotony of it. It's actually about her.
I would think.
I feel that you have a right to know.
Before you head out.
I am very curious why you say things like that.
I mentioned it before, the Grimhound, Brim Blackley from Argus. He's one of the last Church Grims. Before the Calamity, their kind was the Shepherds of the Dead. And his grandson, Theodore Blackley, goes to this academy. He's the administrator. He saw something the other night. A vestige. Left him a message that said, "We are not gone. Find us." The vestige of that person, when he described them to me, he was able to very accurately describe Inonis. He's never met her, never even seen a picture of her before.
And you're taking his word.
I'm looking into it, Jarlos. I don't want to have hope that there is an afterlife for those who have been lost. We've always been taught that those who die disappear. But if there is a chance, I'd like to know. And I feel like you deserve to know that I'm looking into it.
You really are chasing after every myth you can come across, aren't you?
What else left is there to do? The end of the world is coming sooner rather than later.
And you say so with such certainty. That is what worries me.
Because I've seen what those beasts become. There is no way we win this war. Not how we've been doing things. So yes, I'll listen to myths if they give us the answer we haven't been able to find.
Well, I'm not going to turn to hardworking men and women and tell them that all their effort is just for naught.
There is one other thing. This is a separate matter.
Right, and?
Your engineering corps.
What of it?
There's an individual by the name of Clark Drisden. He's the second adjunct secretary to the leader of the corps. Do you know his name?
No.
As far as I'm aware, he's been the one overseeing the Magus engines for the last few years. However, my researchers are fairly certain that the Magus engine, well, it's not what it should be.
Now that I need a thorough explanation of why they believe such.
We've been doing a lot of research on magical efficiency and how to prevent dirty mana. As you're well aware, hundreds of our engineers died of dirty mana sickness every year.
Which is even more why I truly hope your researcher is able to continue their work.
We have found that there is a right way to make a design foci, to make it clean. No dirty mana at all. However, in this process, we've also found out that the efficiency of a design foci is limited. Which means that the Magus engines aren't design foci. They're something else entirely. And if there's something else entirely, then why are they producing dirty mana in the first place? Further, I had one of my researchers who's worked as an engineer with your corps before, Leon Finley, look into the records, the designs that he was provided while he was working there, and come to realize that he was never provided with a device that produced power, only devices that moved it.
So the question is, where is it coming from?
I remember about 70 years ago, that old leader of the corps, his name was Joshua Eldon. You remember that Ananis wanted to see the corps for herself, was curious about your family's work. He led us down there for some time. I remember going to the corps, but I just remember leaving. I don't actually remember what occurred there. I've always thought that was odd, but I didn't think about it much until recently. Tell me honestly, Jahalos, have you ever actually been to the Magus Engines Corps?
Several times we do inspection.
I mean inside it. You haven't, have you?
I know I should.
It's fuzzy, right? Like that memory should be there, but it's gone.
Did you drag me in here to tell me all sorts of things to scare me?
I can only send my students so far without them getting themselves in trouble. But they are interested in the core now.
And my barrier.
And I'm fairly certain that this Clark Drisden individual might know more than he's letting on, and potentially be a part of a plot that has led to the deaths of a number of your engineers. I just don't know why.
And I doubt you would be bringing this to my attention if you didn't already have an idea of what you were going to do about it. Feisty as you are.
It's been a long time since I've asked you for help on anything. I don't have a way to get to Clark Drisden, but you do.
What do you need?
Mostly just records. If 17 engineers over the course of 10 years can perish by Dirty Manda under his command, then there's got to be records of their loss and how it occurred, where it occurred. I need to know if they all died in the same area or not.
So I'll go delving through 5 more mountains of paperwork for you then.
If you trust anyone to assist, I would ask their assistance as well. Rona, of course, might be willing to aid.
Well, I already have a young lady who's very curious into learning how our systems operate, as well as 3 others. Especially if I imagine their project is already running through you.
Several of the students accepted your offer to assist with engineering in hopes they could find out more about this situation.
Several of your candidates accepted to help with the rebuilding and repair. I could have them rededicated, but it's not what they signed up for. Hell. What am I saying? Of course. Of course that's what they signed up for, especially with you.
I'm trying to be upfront this time at least.
I'm seeing that. I get the feeling, regardless how I answer you, you're going to find some way to get around it anyway. Or I get to find out about...
I prefer to do this one above board.
I would like if that was our habit from here on. Difficult as that's going to be for us.
You've always been the beacon of us children. In our group growing up, you were the righteous one. But righteousness sometimes gets you in trouble.
Fine. Fine. But when you send those children digging, I am watching. Is that agreeable?
That's agreeable.
I don't want them knowing something that I don't. Especially if it's my job that I should have been aware of in the first place.
It's important to note that this has happened in every city besides ours. This isn't unique to us. The Black Stones have also dealt with the same problem.
You're sure of that?
But even they haven't found a solution. Mark has confirmed as such. His whole family has looked into how to fix the Magus engines. This is something endemic about how they were made in the first place. And I think it has something to do with a higher magic that we don't possess anymore. In truth,
working with
after all we learned at the shrine,
tools that we
I think
no
it
longer
might be
fit.
divine.
Divine.
Sounds comical, I know.
Coming from a man who was just trying to count off the afterlife.
There was a line in one of the prophecies left by Jurgen that Sylphie would help us. The goddess of wind. I'm curious if maybe that's how the cities got their boost.
I'm not one for faith. Not anymore. I would rather prefer to know that our equipment is working because we keep it well kept, not because of some spirit within. But if it is myth that is going to get us through this, then hell, fine. Fine.
I know this is difficult, but I appreciate it
You
nonetheless.
dropped quite a lot on me all at once. I hadn't
If
even
it
touched the
helps
tea
at
yet.
all, I've been going through world-breaking revelation after world-breaking revelation for the past year or so. If honest, I'm glad to offload some of it.
Let's start. Fine. Fine.
Right. I'll leave you to your work, and I'll let you know how
Well,
progress goes.
I'm going to
Probably
hope
after we
that I
return
haven't
from
missed my sister running off.
Go see her well.
And I have to... To be honest, now knowing this, I'm not sure if I'd be able to face them. What you've told me.
I'm looking into it. I don't believe it fully myself yet.
I'll leave it as a young man's good luck at describing blonde elves. Meanwhile, I have a great few years of holiday gifts to catch up on for the newest member of the family.
I'm sure she would appreciate it.
I'd prefer if she...
She's well deserving.
I prefer she knew that we are hoping to help her, rather than whatever you might have tried to convince them otherwise.
It wasn't you I was worried about. It was Nalros. And it always will be.
Fine.
Be well, Jalos.
Keep showing me this sort of consistency going forward, and it will be much easier to work with. I think that's
I'll do
only
my
fair.
best.
Right, well, I'll get out of your way then.
Didn't get eaten alive? I didn't want to snoop, so I was just making sure it wasn't yelling when I walked close.
Not this time. Not this time.
Are you gonna be good getting out, or are you gonna be exploring around the town for tonight?
I think I'm going to head home.
All right.
Sorry.
Are you all right?
Just.
You're fine.
Trying to put the pieces together.
Take your time.
Good night, Verona.
Have a lovely evening.
Right. Straight to chin high. It seems that in every world, this blonde elf is going to be very busy.
In the focus of it, and it's not going through your whole body willy-nilly. Well, that part of it might be doing, but... Oh, great. Yep, you need to bring that up to Reginald. Oh, they should know, actually. Shiloh did the surgery with Reginald, and after a few weeks, it's kind of got a direct connection to more than I initially thought it would.
Man, okay. Hey, your dead sister sent us a message, by the way. Fuck off, Valdris. Jesus Christ. It looks like I'm the peacekeeper at the table now. To be honest, I kind of prefer that. That meeting went... Yeah, right. That meeting went leaps and bounds better. What are you up to, love? Another trip outside of town. If the inn's open, I'll help out. I'm not feeling like soloing it right now, though, respectively. Are we open? We're not open. Oh.
I love daydreaming out the window. On the train. It's so peaceful.
Slowly but surely coming along.
in general.
A lot of things I still need.
Yeah, I think I'll call it a night. At least for VR. So I'm gonna call it a night. I want to thank you guys for coming to hang out with me today, all you lovely, lovely people who are here pretty much every day. And to those of you who may have just been here for the very first time, hello, my name is Emo. I do this roleplay thing probably more often than I should, but here I am. How was the stream quality? Was there any problems with us doing 2 platforms at the same time? No issue on the Twitch side? Okay. And the other site seems to be doing fine. Okay, that's good then. So yeah, we should be able to make this our standard. Alright, I'm gonna call it a night then, guys. Hope you all have a good time. I'm gonna go to get something to eat. Night night.